Go Jackets.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rec Talk. And the news just keeps coming on the Georgia Tech football front. But before we get into that, a few items, news items for the channel. One, we've got merch coming. I'm not exactly sure when, but we've got shirts, hats, and mugs. Rec Talk shirts, hats, and mugs coming. I will be recording an interview with former Georgia Tech offensive lineman Joseph Gilbert this Friday. He was a part of the 2009 ACC championship team. You're not going to want to miss that. That should come out the following week. And I'm working on getting interviews with both Zach Pyron and Clayton Powell-Lee. I don't know if we'll do both. We'll absolutely do one of them, though. I'm in contact with Georgia Tech, the NIL director, right now to do that. So let's get into it. Georgia Tech snags another Georgia piece. So we've got Buster Faulkner. I know a lot of people are upset that whatever. I'm over that. But Georgia tight end Brett Seither entered the portal. Now they also have a tight end in what is his name? Goder or trying to see if it's in my notes. Yes, Rylan Goad and Arik Gilbert. Now Arik Gilbert is having some non-football issues. I don't know that he'll go anywhere. But this leaves Georgia with just two tight ends on current roster, and they have two players they've recruited in the 2023 class that will give them four tight ends on roster next year. And then Darnell Washington declared for the NFL draft. So Brett Seither, he is a grad transfer. He has 2 years of eligibility left. He was the first Georgia Bulldog to hit the portal after they won the national title game. Now, he's played in 13 games this year. He has no catches on the year, so already sounds like a Georgia Tech tight end off the bat. So look, this is a kid from Clearwater, Florida. He was recruited by Tech in 2019. He was a 3-star per 247, I believe. But look, as much as I hate to admit it, Georgia is the best team in the country right now. Not many teams go back-to-back. And it'd be nice to pull some players off of them. I would think this is 100% a Buster Faulkner thing. Buster Faulkner, if you haven't seen Georgia Tech officially announce the offensive coaches, so now Buster Faulkner is 100% official. If anyone had any doubts he was coming, he will be the offensive coordinator and the tight ends coach. And I'm sure he was a major factor in getting Brett Seither to come over. And Tech is a team that is in desperate need of good tight end play. Now, we have Jackson Long that is transferring from the University of South Florida. But, there's not a whole lot on him. And I guess there's not a whole lot on Brett Seither either as far as college play. Brett Seither, he's like 6'5", 220 to 230. I'm trying to see if that was what he was listed out of high school. But look, I think he's a talented kid that could help us out a lot, right? Like, again, we're going to need much improved tight end play. Now, I believe Dylan Leonard said he's coming back for his 5th year. It'll be his last year of eligibility. But I'll tell you this, it would not surprise me because there's been other Georgia players that have hit the portal. I believe Dominic Blaylock. There's rumors that A.D. Mitchell. Now, they're both wide receivers, and our wide receiver room is pretty packed now. And I believe tomorrow, which will be January the 18th, 2023, is the last day to enter the portal. So we'll have to see who else enters the portal tomorrow. But it wouldn't surprise me if we're possibly able to get some more players from Georgia's team, with Buster being so involved with the team, going into the playoffs, and just it sounds like just being a really personable guy that players like. So I'm certainly excited that he's coming. Again, we need good tight end play. I couldn't find a lot of film on the kid. I guess I could go to his Huddle account from high school. But I'm just excited to see what Buster does with the offense and with the kids we're able to bring in. We have several transfer players coming in. We've got the kid from Alabama, I believe, what is it, Singleton the third or something, runs a 10.5. In fact, let me look that up right now. Let me go to the Google Drive here. A more prepared person would have done this already. 1 second. Back it up. I have a whole spreadsheet with everyone that's transferred. So, we have Edinosa Rubin, defensive lineman out of Clemson. We talked about this on the live show. He's 6'3". Another 3-star out of high school. But look, I mean, the strength of Clemson's team as of late has been their defense. Because, some of the criticism will be, well, why weren't these kids playing at Georgia or Clemson? Well, I mean, Georgia and Clemson are really good football teams. Just because they weren't playing there doesn't mean they're not good players. Then we have another offensive lineman coming in, and Jordan Brown. He's coming out of Charlotte. Big kid, 6'5", 320. I think he's an interior offensive lineman too. I think he plays guard. Maybe we move him to tackle. Who knows? I know that he was getting recruited by some other Power 5 programs too, so he was getting noticed. This is who I was thinking about, Christian Leary out of Alabama. He was a 4-star out of high school, highly recruited, 5'10", 185 pounds, runs a 10.500 meter, or ran a 10.500 meter in high school. This kid is blazing fast. And we have a ton of speed coming in to this wide receiver room. I'm talking about Dobson, Christian Leary, Chase Lane. There's a ton of wide receivers we have coming in that are very athletic. Another wide receiver transfer in Abdul Janae. I hope I'm saying that right. Big kid, 6'3", 180. He was a 3-star out of high school. I never can pronounce the school he's coming from. It's a small non-Division I school though. So look, we got some height coming in. This Brett Seether. Is 6'5", 6'6". I don't know what speed he has, but look, that he was sitting on the bench at Georgia doesn't say much to me either, as far as how talented he is. I mean, how many tight ends in the country are more talented than Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington, right? Not many. I mean, what Trevor Lawrence was to the quarterback position is what Brock Bowers is to the tight end position. That kid, that might be our rival, but I like seeing that kid play. I'm a college football fan. He's a hell of a player. This transfer class is really shaping up. I'm excited to see us make an addition to a position group that we are really in desperate need of having some good play out of. We've got some help coming in with Andre Wright and Braylon Oliver at linebacker. Chase Lane at wide receiver. The other two I just mentioned at wide receiver. Travion Cooley from Louisville, running back, coming in. He was a 4-star out of high school. Haynes King coming in at quarterback. We'll see what that competition shapes up like, coming into the spring. So, again, I'm excited, guys. It seems like we're making a lot of really good moves here. So we'll see. Now, I've got a ton of more videos to make on the coaching hires, on other things. And just like I told you guys, as the channel grows and you're seeing it happen, we've got some interviews with some ex-players and some current players coming up. We've got an interview with a 20-year veteran SEC official coming up late February, possibly early March. You're not going to miss these videos, guys. Stay tuned in, and thanks for watching. Go Jackets.